Good morning, students. Today we'll learn how to do time series analysis. So, as part of time series analysis, we have two concepts. One is called moving average, one is called least squares method. So, in moving average, we will see a technique for finding out the long term trend of any variable. So, if you look at the table here in front of you, you have in 2002 the value 100. In the year 2003 it is 105. In the year 2004 115. So it is steadily increasing from 2002 to 2004. Then in 2005 and 2006 and so on, it starts falling again. So it fell to 90, got back up to 95, then again fell to 85, then again fell to 80, 65, then started rising again 75, 70, 75, 80. So you can see there is fluctuation, it's going up and down. Now we want to see in the long term in what direction is our production going. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? What is the rate of increase? What is the rate of decrease? So we use the technique of moving average first to analyze this. So moving average is used to estimate the trend values for a time series variable. Moving average can be calculated over an even number of years or an odd number of years. When you are doing for even number of years, there is a different rule. When you are doing it for odd number of years, there is a different rule. Alright, so now let's take a look when it's for odd number of years. So in the above example, we are asked to calculate a 5-year moving average. That means for odd number of years. So when it is for 3, 5 or 4, 7, 3, 5, 7 or 9 years, we call it moving average for odd number of years, and we write it in this way. Suppose it is for 3 years, we write it as MA bracket 3. That is to show it is moving average of 3 years. Now for example, if the variable y, whichever variable we are calculating the moving average for, we will use the formula in this way. So for moving average of 5 years, we will take from the first value. So in the table here, we will take from 2002 to 2006. So 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. So similarly, we will write it in the variable form as y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 divided by 5. So this is the first moving average. Then for the second moving average, we will take out the first value y1 and we will include the sixth value y6. So we will remove the first value and we will move to the next 5 years. Similarly, when we do for the third year, we will remove y1 and y2 and we will start from y3 and we will go till y7 until we reach the last one, the last moving average, where we have only 5 values left, yn to yn plus 4. So we will take yn plus 1 plus yn plus 2 plus yn plus 3 plus yn plus 4 and we will divide it by 5. So all of these basically is average over 5 years. There is a concept. So for the example above, first we will calculate the totals. So for 5 years we will calculate totals. So for the example, in the first year here, we added 100, 105, 115, 90 and 95. So the first 5 years when we added, we got 505. Then for the next one, we shifted to y2. We took out y1 and we started from y2. So 105, 115, 90, 95 and 85. That gave us 490. So in this way, we have calculated 5 years totals at a time. So these are called 5 years moving totals. After that, we calculate the moving average. 100. So we divided 505 by 5, we got 101. 490 divided by 5, 48. 465 divided by 5, 93. 415 by 5, 83. 400 divided by 5, 80 and so on. So once we have calculated this, we can graph it. So we graph the original values of y, the production and the 5-year moving averages. So what you can see in the graph, the blue line is for the production and the red line is our moving average. So this is our production and the red line is the moving average for 5 years. So because we did it for 5 years, it starts from 2004 and it goes on till 2011. So you can see in the graph here, there is an approximate movement shown by the moving average curve against the production curve. Now let's move on to the next one, where we calculate the moving average for an even number of years. So for example, the 4-year moving average for the data. So the general concept of an even number of years moving average is for 2, 4, 6 or 8 years. For example, moving average for 4 years. So for any variable y, if we calculate moving average for 4 years, we'll use the two-step formula. First, we'll calculate moving average for every 4 years. So y1, y2, y3 plus y4 divided by 4. Then starting from y2, y3, y4, y5 divided by 4 and so on until we get the last moving average. Then we take two moving averages at a time and we calculate the centered moving average. This is true only for the even number of moving averages. So here we take two moving averages at a time and we calculate their average again. So when we do it for a practical problem, how it goes is, first we take 4 years when we calculate the total for them. So 150 plus 170 plus 196 plus 180 gives us 696. Then we move to the second year. 170 plus 196 plus 180 plus 190 gives us 736. Then we move to the third year. 196 plus 180 plus 190 plus 260. Then we move to the fourth year. So we start from 180, 190, 216 and 248 to get 834. Then we will move next to again starting from 180, 190, 216, so 190, 216, 248 and 280 gives us 934. Similarly, now for all of these, for 4 years, we have calculated the moving totals. Then we take the moving totals and we divide them by 4. So 696 we divide by 4 to get the moving average of 174. 736 by 4, 184. 782 by 4, 195.5. So this whole series of moving averages we calculated. Then what did we do? We took 2-point moving totals. So for every two moving averages, we calculated the total. So 174 plus 184 gives me 358. 184 plus 195.5 gives me 379.5. So similarly, I calculated all 2-point moving totals. Then I calculated the average of those totals to get me the final 4-year centered moving average. This is called the centered moving averages when we find the average of 2 moving averages. So now when we graph the original production values and the 4-year centered moving average, we get this graph where again here the blue line is my actual production and the red line is my 4-year moving average. So you can see it more or less tracks the actual production values over the years. In some years it is above the actual values, the moving average. In some years it is falling below the actual value. But it is taking an average of the 2 years before and 2 years later in a moving average fashion. Now this will be followed by the least squares method.